Hi guys, this is a video on experimenting with free operating systems in VirtualBox. So I've talked about VirtualBox quite a lot before. It's basically a free virtual machine program. As you can see on the left hand side, I have a bunch of operating systems, and you notice that they all say saved. This is all done with the snapshot feature in VirtualBox. So why do I have this like this? Well, basically, if I experiment with something and I show something on YouTube that's done in Windows 7 or Windows Vista, bound to have someone to come along and say, does this work on Windows XP? So all I have to do is double click this, it will restore the virtual machine state, and I'll be ready to go with Windows XP within about 4 seconds, however long that just took, and I can just start experimenting with that software, assuming that it connects to the net. There we go. And then, so that is all done, even though I'm using Windows 7. And once I've finished, I've experimented with the software, I've commented to him back saying it works, I just press the X button, go power off the virtual machine, revert to the current snapshot, click OK, and it's stopped the virtual machine. It's gone back to how it was before I tested the software. So it's gone back to a clean install, ready for the next software that I want to try out. So this is how I use VirtualBox. However, you can also use it to experiment with operating systems you don't want to install on your system. So for example, a lot of people want to try out Ubuntu, but they don't want to burn a disk, they want to restart their computer, they don't want to mess around with all of that. All you have to do is just install it inside VirtualBox, and you can use it inside a box. VirtualBox, yeah. But this is fairly easy to do. All you have to do is download the Ubuntu CD image and then run through some settings, and then spend about 45 minutes of your life installing Ubuntu inside a virtual machine, and then installing the extra additions from VirtualBox to get it working. Now, what if we could download these operating systems pre-installed on a hard disk image? So if you think about it, all of these operating systems are all installed on virtual hard disks in the operating system. Now, our virtual hardware is run by VirtualBox, and everyone else who has VirtualBox is going to be running the same virtual hardware. So all we need to have Ubuntu 9.04 already installed is the hard disk image. So we can actually download the hard disk image from the internet. It's called a VDI, a virtual disk image. You can download this from virtualboximages.com/VDIs. This is spelled slightly differently, don't know why, but usually it's VDI with the abbreviation. And this is basically where you can get things that are pre-installed. So you can get, for example, Ubuntu pre-installed, and it's very simple to set up and saves you the time of installing it inside VirtualBox for yourself. So go over to the right hand side and scroll down a bit, and you'll have the option of VDI distributions. Now these are usually Linux distributions, so go ahead and check out all the ones that are here. Now as you can see, there's loads, and majority of them are actually free, so they're very useful in checking out, even if you want to just do a review, or just to show what's different about them and what makes them so special, or just to try them out if you're bored, you just want to try something new. Then you've got a long list of things that you can try out here. So I'm just going to quickly click on Puppy as one of the distributions, as this is quite a small version of Linux. If we scroll down, obviously these are free. As you can see, I had Windows here. Obviously you have to pay for the license for that, which I've done, and I'm using those inside the virtual machine. But at this point in time, I'm talking about free operating systems. So here we have Puppy Linux. It gives you a small amount of information. I'm just going to click on the VDI here, and it will load the page where it gives you all the things that are currently installed, or what they've installed on it, and any extra information you need. So click again on that VDI, and you have a link here that says free torrent VirtualBox VDI here. So click that, and it will take you to a mini Nova website, which is usually used for torrents that are illegal, but this is fully legitimate. So there are torrents out there that are free and are legitimate, so go ahead and download that. I recommend using uTorrent. It's a very lightweight application, especially if you're using Windows. So go ahead and download that. As you can see, it's got 11 seeders on it, and it's very healthy. So as you can see, again, it's 73.41 meg. So once that's downloaded, you'll find yourself with a RAR file. Go ahead and use 7-zip, again that's free, to extract this into a folder, and you'll end up with that VDI file you need. So this is the virtual hard disk image you're going to put into a new virtual machine inside VirtualBox. So I haven't installed anything, or I haven't installed the new operating system Puppy Linux before. I just want to have it installed so I don't have to, muck about with the process of installing it. So as you can see, I went to New, and went to New Virtual Machine, Next, VM name, Puppy. I'm going to have it as Linux. Now Puppy isn't in this list, so I'm just going to go to Other Linux, go to Next. Now it's asking me how much RAM I want to give it. Obviously, depending on how much RAM you have will be how much you give the virtual machine. I have 768 for all my machines. I don't know why, that's just how I do it. So it's asking me, do I want to create a new hard disk, which is not what I want to do because I'll be creating a new VDI. I want to use an existing VDI. Now this is actually just listing all the ones I already have, so as you can see my Windows, my Ubuntu ones are here. All I need to do is click this folder icon and I need to add a new one in the Virtual Media Manager. So I'm going to go to Desktop, I'm going to go to the VirtualBox folder, VirtualBox, and then open up this VDI. I'm going to go to Select, Next, and it's all ready to go. Just click Finish, double click Puppy, and there we go. We now have a fully working version of if I just start it, we have a fully working version of Puppy Linux, and I didn't have to run through the install process, which is normally what you'd have to do with virtual machines. You usually just have to run through that whole install process, and it takes a lot of time, and then you have to install those additions. Now, one thing to note is that sometimes it's not possible, or the person who made the VDI could not install those additions. So make sure you do check that out when you're on this website, virtualboximages.com. Check through the description, see if there's anything of note that you need to know before you put this into your VirtualBox. But this is a quick way of downloading pre-made images to go into your virtual machine software, so you can quickly start checking out operating systems that you may not have heard before. As you can see, there's a long list here. There's React OS, I've talked about that before, GOS I've talked about, CentOS. So very, very useful stuff. Go ahead and check that out. It's virtualboximages.com. Download VirtualBox if you haven't already. If you have the resources, go ahead and try out as many operating systems, give them a review, even comment on this and tell me if there's any of your favorites. So I hope this helps anyone. I'll provide all the download links in the description. Thanks for watching my video. Please comment, rate, subscribe if you like my videos, and thanks again.